When the stove is supposed to be your sanctuary, it becomes your burden. Cooking gas now costs 2,000 Nigerian nairas a kilo, and NNPC says a strike is partly to blame. That's the shocking reality Nigeria is living today, as NNPC explains that the surge in liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, prices to 2,000 Nigerian nairas per kilogram was driven largely by supply disruptions during the Pengassan industrial action. Here's a full breakdown of how we got here, who's bearing the burden, and whether relief might be on the horizon. What NNPC says, why the price jump? The official explanation. Bayo Ajalari, GCO of NNPC, told State House correspondents that the recent industrial action by Pengassan disrupted LPG loading and distribution for several days, compressing supply and triggering a price spike. He said that movement and loading delays of 2 to 3 days were enough to throw distribution off balance. Some retailers with existing stock, he claimed, then took advantage to raise prices further. According to checks cited by Docase World, in Lagos the price per kg is around 2,000 Nigerian nairas, while in Abuja it sits closer to 1,600 Nigerian nairas. Ajalari called much of the increase relatively artificial, asserting that once supply chains normalize, prices should ease. The price landscape, what Nigerians are being charged. In many markets, cooking gas, LPG, is already being sold at rates approaching 2,000 Nigerian nairas per kilogram. Before the surge, consumers had grown accustomed to lower rates, so the jump is felt steeply in household budgets. To illustrate, for a family consuming 5 kilograms or more per cooking cycle, this increase translates into hundreds or even thousands of extra naira every week. The role of the Pengassan strike and supply disruptions. How labor action shook the LPG chain. Pengassan's industrial action reportedly halted or delayed LPG loading operations at key depots and pipelines, which are crucial nodes in the LPG supply chain. With fewer deliveries arriving, marketers face stock shortfalls. This scarcity allowed some retailers to hike prices, even before demand pressures mounted. In essence, the strike created a ripple effect. Disruption at upstream levels translated into supply pressure downstream. Artificial pricing and opportunism. NNPC's narrative includes a critique. Some actors seized the window during disruption to impose higher margins. Ajalari called the extra hike part of the problem artificial. This suggests the increase is not entirely grounded in cost. Part may derive from exaggeration or market manipulation in tight times. Who gets hit hardest? The human cost. Household strain. Food, transport, utilities. All are tied to fuel and energy price dynamics. A sharp gas hike squeezes household budgets severely, especially among low and middle-income families. Many may revert to more polluting or expensive stoves, kerosene, firewood, charcoal, which can degrade health and environment. Small businesses and food vendors. Restaurants, bakeries, food sellers, and small food processing outfits depend heavily on gas. A 30 to 50% increase in input costs can force them to raise menu prices or cut margins. Some may even scale back operations or pass on the cost to consumers, potentially reducing food availability or affordability. Inequality and energy poverty. Wealthier households often have buffer capacity, bulk buying, alternative cooking fuels, efficient stoves. Vulnerable households cannot absorb shocks easily. The poorest may resort to substandard fuels or choose to undercook, impacting health and nutrition. Can the price be reined back? Paths to relief. To return to more reasonable cooking gas prices, several fixes may need to align. Restore supply flow and remove disruptions. Ensuring supply chains, terminals, pipelines, and depots function without interruption is foundational. A strike-free, stable LPG logistics network is vital. Prompt resumption of full loading and distribution after the Pengassan pause is crucial. Monitoring and curtailing opportunism. Regulatory bodies should audit retailers and marketers to assess whether markups during crisis periods were excessive. Price gouging practices in times of distress must be punished or reversed. Increase local production or alternate supply sources. Encouraging more local LPG production, import capacity, or regional supply integration can reduce vulnerability to shocks. Diversification of supply sources helps buffer against single-point failures. Transparent pricing and cost pass-through mechanisms. Public disclosure of LPG price components, input cost, transport margin, helps citizens and regulators see where savings should land. Mechanisms that bind marketing margins during crisis periods may help prevent excessive markup layering. Temporary subsidies or relief measures. In severe price spikes, short-term subsidies, targeted support, or voucher systems may cushion the blow for vulnerable households. Government may consider converting parts of the extra gas cost into tax reliefs or rebates while long-term fixes are implemented. Risks and caveats. Some delay in stabilization is expected. Even after supply normalizes, distribution pipelines and logistic networks take time to catch up. If government or suppliers backtrack, removing delivery relief, cutting back supplies, prices may re-escalate. Currency devaluation, inflation in costs, or fresh strikes can reignite upward pressure. Some increases may be structural now, reflecting underlying cost inflation, fuel, transport, security, etc., that won't revert fully. What to watch in the coming days and weeks? Whether gas, LPG prices begin declining. A return to 1,200 to 1,600 Nigerian nairas levels would be a positive sign. Statements and action from Pengassan, NNPC, Ministry of Petroleum on resolving further friction. Market audits, retailer compliance, and regulatory clampdowns. Reports of supply chain restoration. How many tankers, deliveries per day, depot stock levels. Public feedback. Whether consumers see relief or continue to bear the higher burden. Final thoughts. The jump to 2,000 Nigerian nairas per kilogram for cooking gas isn't just a number. It reflects how fragile Nigeria's energy supply chain is, and how one labor disruption can ripple all the way to kitchen stoves. NNPC's explanation, that the Pengassan strike caused supply blockage and opportunistic pricing, has merit. But whether the price returns or stays elevated depends on whether reforms, regulation, and market discipline kick in. For now, many Nigerians will struggle with the new cost floor, and the burden exposes how fuel, energy, and supply chain resilience continue to lie at the heart of national living standards.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this update and want to stay informed with fast, reliable news, don't forget to subscribe to Newsflash 360. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. Your next headline is just seconds away.